Hey guys, this is the world's first single double pedal ever!
Not exactly. This was. Probably, if I had to guess. We've looked at weird cymbals, we've looked at weird heads, we've looked at weird drum sets, but what about weird pedals? Like this one made by Sca-Taylor guitars. Or, sorry, handcrafted by Sca-Taylor guitars. I actually have one of their prototype models hanging in my workshop, but I guess this is their production model. I would consider the endorsement, but there's one very major fatal flaw with this pedal. It has a nylon tip instead of wood. This is the Foot-Nik, which seems to work best for percussion stuff like cowbells and tambourines and whatnot, at least according to this guy on this forum, but it does make sense because it has these tiny little plastic beaters. This one is a little bit messed up. It was missing whatever grip tape was on it, so I added this non-slip stuff. It's not the prettiest, but it gets the job done. There's also this adjustable ball on the inside that has rotted away, which if you move it along the shaft, it changes where it hits on this ramp. So if you want the beaters to not go as far, you move it farther up the ramp. And then if you want more throw, you just move the ball to the bottom of the ramp and the pedal goes up farther, moving the beaters farther. Even though that ball is rotten, the pedal still works just fine, but I did notice if you hit down too far on the footboard, it gets caught on the screw head, so we gotta fix that. This thing is awesome. Easily a 10 out of 10. Now jumping back into modern times, we have the Gibraltar Catapult pedal. I guess this is technically considered a longboard pedal, but unlike a normal one, there's a bent shaft which pivots from the bottom of the base plate and is driven by a bearing that's attached to the footboard and rides down the shaft, catapulting the beater into the head. And then the spring that's attached to the shaft is what returns the beater. This beater is also a little bit weird. Personally, I'm not a fan of how it sounds, but when it comes to pedals, I will say this is easily the smoothest pedal I've ever played, and probably the longest pedal I've ever played. This thing is like 18 inches long. So one thing about this beater is that it's kind of like loose, so it can conform to the level of the drum head. But it's so loose that sometimes it'll go up a little bit, so when you hit it, you get that like flat flam sound. Get rid of you. And we'll add this VK-B5. This is my go-to beater. Already sounds a lot better. Okay, another issue I see now is see that mark on the bass drum head? That is from the shaft of the pedal. All right, we got a VK-B1, which sticks out a little bit farther than the other one. This feels horrible now with this beater on it. The forward stroke feels really nice, but the backstroke, there's like not enough tension to bring it back fast enough. It's not as responsive as a normal pedal, and the spring on this thing is maxed out, so I give this a 3 out of 10. Now let's take a detour and look at a hi-hat pedal. You don't know how excited I am to finally open this. More specifically, the Sabian triple hi-hat pedal. This is the most advanced clutch I've ever seen. I don't know what the heck these things are. If you know about this thing, then you know that they're impossible to find, but thankfully a subscriber sent me a link to one that was for sale, so I had to buy it because again, these things you just do not see. The seller wasn't the best. It only took him like a month to ship it after the order expired, so I had to reorder it, but I was scared because it was through Facebook, so I thought it was a scam, but it's here now, I'm opening it, and that's all that matters. When I hit the footboard, this goes up, and this goes down. That's insane. Now let's figure out the symbols. We got a 10-inch top, this 14-inch middle symbol, then a 14-inch bottom that has a giant hole in the bell. We have a slight issue though. The top symbol is just like any other hi-hat, and that goes on the clutch. The bottom is also pretty normal, except you have this ring that screws on to lock it in place. So my issue is there's supposed to be another sleeve that goes inside of here that holds the middle symbol in place and keeps it stationary. And that part is missing. So for the time being, I came up with this. This is lamp rod, which just so happens to fit inside of the hi-hat rod and fits down inside of there. So with a couple of nuts, some more nuts and some washers, and even more nuts and washers, this now fits down like so. And I can put the top symbol on. Now when I hit the pedal, the top symbol comes down, the bottom symbol comes up, and the middle symbol stays in place. Easily one of the best sounding chicks you'll find on a set of hi-hats. So the first and most obvious discovery with these is you have two sets of hi-hats. You have the bottom set, which are bigger and chunkier. Then you have the top, which is a lighter, airier sound. So now imagine the possibilities when you combine the two sounds. And then the only other kind of weird thing I figured out with these is if you loosen the bottom but leave the top tight, you can have a sloshy closed hi-hat sound. I don't know if you'd ever need that sound, but hey, they can do it. I give the idea a 10 out of 10. The sound isn't really for me, it's a little bit outdated. If they made them a bit thinner and less chunky sounding, then I think they'd sound really good. But if anything right now, I'd use them as like an aux hat, if anything. Also, the pedal doesn't really feel the best. It's a bit sluggish and feels worn out. You can see right here it's sticking, but if I kick it, it'll open up. You also can't really splash on it. I mean, you can, but you really gotta stomp on it, which is kind of awkward when you're playing a groove. So, all that considered, I give it a 6 7/8 out of 10. Now, what goes good with a triple hi-hat? A triple bass pedal. That's right, I ordered the $500 add-on to the Dualist that turns the single double into a triple. What the heck? Look at this beater. I don't know why that's so funny. This will be a game changer. In the Dualist realm, there's the D1, which is a single pedal, the D2, which is a regular double pedal, the D4, which is what this thing is, and then all of this is the D5 upgrade, which turns your D4 into a D3. Which I really don't understand the math or numbers behind it. This thing costs $500 plus shipping, and this upgrade costs another $500 plus shipping. To be fair though, a lot of the high-end double pedals are in the $1,000 price range, but with this, we get a third beater. I think we get rid of the old tension system for the left beater, and then it looks like this new one slides on. But there's this screw here that mounts to the side of this, but there's no hole for that, so I guess I need a drill. And then I'm gonna guess that this slides on like so. Have no fear, the triple pedal is here. You saw Steven and I struggle with the regular Dualist. Then you saw Eric and I struggle with this heel-toe thing. So Estepario, you are our only saving grace when it comes to playing the Dualist. So I challenge you to play the triple. This next one isn't a pedal, but a mega old school heel-toe attachment thing that Bob got to review back in the day when he wrote for Modern Drummer. When did you get this thing?
So I was sent the, I got it in the spring of 1989, direct from the inventor.
Was your review good about it?
It was 35 years ago, I can't remember. In fact, it was my last review article for Modern Drummer before I started working over at Sonar Drums.
All right. So. And on a good note. Well, we'll see about that.
Yeah, we will.
Well, let's slap her together and see.
All right.
I searched this thing, and they actually have a website still, but I mean, you're hip to marketing. It had like lorem ipsum, you know, like the filler, filler text.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, I don't know about the site.
So does this ever stop? It's just turning.
Is the other one tight? Oh, your key is wallered out.
Oh, is it?
Or the heads are smaller. All right, so first issue, you can see this drum key holder. That new attachment is hitting it, so
It bottoms out, yeah.
You've had 35 years to learn this. This is older than I am.
Yeah, and it sat in the box for 34 of those 35 years, so...
All right, well, that tells us a lot. Got clearance.
That should be fine. Here's another question. Why does the 5000 have a spring on the right side, and the 9000 has a spring inside on the right side? So you put your shoe up on here, and after gigs, the side of your shoe is rubbing against this spring, and the side of your shoe wears out. And I have multiple pairs of shoes that's happened to as a result of that.
I've honestly never played a 9000 or 5000.
Well, you're going to now.
Regular pedal mode works just fine. Now let's go heel mode. That takes so much force. I mean, that has a lot of power once you get it going.
So you can't go faster?
No. The spring is way too tight.
Yeah, right. In fact, I think in the letter he said it took him about 3 to 4 months.
What the heck?
You know, to get really good at it.
Can't you just learn heel toe in 3 months? We forgot to rate it, but I give it a 0 out of 10.